As soon as me and the guy knew that the feeling was mutual, we slept together. I think by the next morning it was done. I was like, God damn. Just like that. I had the realest, rawest conversation. I said, I'm sorry. I was torn. My flesh was torn between what it knows and what it's used to and the newfound wisdom I had in this walk with Christ. I knew logically, if I keep messing with this man, this may not end well. And mind you, absolutely, I'm actively talking about this. I'm like, God, I'm trying to justify it. I'm like, no, like this one's different though. Like, this is a lot healthier. This isn't like a bad guy. I'm like, he's a respectful dude. And there's a new kind of intimacy I've never experienced before. Like, this is actually very sweet, very kind, all the things. So at first it's this conversation, this back and forth of, this is healthy. I think this is nice. I'm handling this pretty well. Here's the thing. It takes that one interaction. It takes that one session. It takes that one, I don't even know how to explain it. It just takes that one really lustful encounter with that person. It's like something completely switched in my brain. I immediately reverted back to my old ways. Very toxic, very anxious attachment. I just quickly was like, oh no. I just opened Pandora's box. I just started involving my heart and my mind and my body in something that I'm now deeming a little bit dangerous.
So one thing you guys gotta realize when it comes to obviously being a believer in Christ and dating and being with a woman who's a believer. I mean, if you know, if you if you follow Christ, you understand what you should and shouldn't do. And obviously, we all fall short. So it's not a video of just bashing, you know, people, but we all fall short. But one thing as a man you gotta realize is the woman is only going to follow what you do. Only. And I know she said in the video that when she knew and when there was just time they had sex. And yeah, that happens. A woman will, if she finds you attractive, she finds you masculine, she's gonna want to have sex with you if she really finds you attractive. You know. So okay, if you guys want a serious relationship, then you want to hold off on sex as long as possible. If you want a serious relationship, you must hold off on sex, preferably till you get married. If you believe in Christ, preferably if you get married, that's the ideal scenario that you want to do. Obviously, we all fall short. I fall short too. So this is not a bashing video, but this is ideally what you should do, right? But the woman's gonna follow your lead. So as a man, obviously our brains are wired to have sex. Our brains wired to get sex on the first date. I've lived that life where I was like, oh yeah, if she don't like me, if she don't want to have sex with me, that's what I've always thought. And that's while that is true, and I've dealt with a lot of women who wasn't religious at all. I mean, at all. So that's true for majority of women because they live a certain lifestyle that's like not under God. So that's they're gonna do, but that they do. But the woman that you want, the woman that actually you want to be around and build a long term relationship around, they are followers in Christ. They're believers in God. So you want to protect their purity as long as you can until marriage. As far as until you get to marriage. That's the idea in a perfect world. But the only reason she caved into her sex is because he caved in with sex. It's because he wasn't able to control his lust. And I'll be honest, like if he really liked it, if he really loved it, if he really seen a future with her as far as like being a wife, he would have held off longer. Let's be honest. He would have held off longer if he could have, and he should have, if he's seen the future with her. If not, then that's just an experience, come and go, and that's it. So the reality is, a woman will follow your lead for whatever you do, especially when it comes to sex. Because a lot of guys say, "Oh well, sex is not on my time; it's on her time." And if she want to have it, I'll have it. If she wait, I'll wait. It's like no. As a man, this is gonna sound crazy, but you control pretty much everything about how fast a relationship goes. The dilemma was men control relationships, women control sex. That was the dilemma, right? That was what we all been taught. And to a surface level, that is true. But underneath the surface, a man controls everything about the relationship and sex. Because you can say no too. You can say, "Well, I'm not. I don't want to have sex right now. I'm waiting until marriage, or I'll wait until at least you be my girlfriend, or I have a girlfriend." Like you can hold off too. You can say no too. But a man's nature isn't to be sexually disciplined. Because we grew up with pornography, Playboy magazines. We grew up with city girls shaking their ass, all this BS. Having girls around us when we're young, having older girls around us when we're young, doing this. We've all been around it. We all know. We know how it goes. So a lot of guys' brain is just so sexualized in the very beginning that makes it hard for them to say, "Hey, I wanna make her my girlfriend and wife in the future. So let me kind of hold off on sex until the time is right." More times than not, we just want to have sex and that's it. We'll figure the rest out later. That's how majority of this shit goes with us. Trust me. And I don't know her if his story is like officially like so true, but the story is believable. And it's like she said, she went back to her old ways. So once she had sex, she went back to her old ways because those old demons came up. Those old bodies she had came back. The one night stands, the bodies of trauma when she was having sex with bad boys when she was younger. All that shit came back when she got back into sexual deviancy. And this is why women's purity should be protected. This is why women should wait as long as possible to have sex. And as a man, if you see value in her, if you want her to be your girlfriend, fiance, wife in the future, you should see value in that purity as well. Obviously, we can't control what she did in her past. As long as it wasn't anything crazy, then you'll be okay. As long as she doesn't have kids or never had an abortion, you'll be okay. I'm pretty sure you'll be okay as long as she didn't have those two things, and the rest you figure out what's going on. But the fact she's turning her life over to Christ, the fact she's trying to go on the right path, is commendable. Let's be honest, it is commendable. And you do, for me, you want to search for more women like that who are believers in Christ. Because a woman who doesn't believe, a woman who really doesn't have a guidance of like how to live their life, they're just, let's be honest, they're just out of control. They're going to look for the next celebrity to guide them. They're going to look for their friends to guide them. They're going to look for people who are their family members to guide them who don't know what the fuck they're doing. So they're looking for all this guidance everywhere else. And then when you come into play, that's just more confusion where she says, "Oh, a man's trying to control me. Get back." This is when they push you back because you're trying to give them some type of guidance, some type of structure, some type of order in this thing called life. And she's like, "Get back." Because guess what? You're listening to Christ. You're listening to God. You hopefully you're trying to put you're close enough to God to give her some wisdom. And more times than not, she'll fight back with that. She'll say, "Oh, this is control and this is bad." More times than not. But if you find a woman who actually wants to listen to you and actually is reading the Bible, is actually watching sermons and really diving deep on religion and Christ, then she would be more open than a normal woman would be. She will give you a chance to say, okay, this well, not a chance, but she'll be open and she'll understand what you're trying to do. She'll understand what you're trying to say. Even though it's not gonna be perfect at first, but she will at least understand the direction you want to take her in because the direction you want to take her in is coming from Christ. If you're close enough to that. If you're close enough to Christ, He'll tell you exactly where you have to go and what you have to do. Ideally, ideally, like I said, I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I trust me. I'm You see, I cuss in these videos, so I'm not trying to say I'm better than nobody, but in the grand scheme of things, like yes, I mean, women need guidance, and you are her guidance. No matter what women say, oh, I don't need a man, or I can do all bad by myself. They still need guidance. They still need to be told what to do. They still need to be told, hey, watch out for this. Be careful. This is it's a snake over there. Hey, don't eat that apple. Okay, you ate it. Okay, damn. Okay, we gotta figure it out. I'll fix it. That's kind of the that's kind of the role of a man. Problem solvers, fix mistakes. But you know what's worse is you have to. The worst thing about it is when you pick a woman who you're not into or you don't see a future in. Imagine fixing her mistake. Imagine fixing a woman's mistake who you don't even see a future with. You know, or imagine fixing a woman's mistake that she made in the past. She may be a single mother, had a baby in the past, and you gotta fix that. You gotta kind of let's be honest. You gotta fix that mistake because if you're coming in to be a stepdad, this means you gotta fix the mistake from the past that affects the present. Isn't it funny how And this is a tangent, but it's so funny what women have kids in the past and say your past shouldn't matter. To an extent, that's true. Your past is your past. But the funny thing about having kids out of wedlock is your past becomes your future, and your future becomes your present. So it's not just my past don't matter. Your past is your freaking present now. Like the same kid you had is going to get older, and he or she's going to need more attention, more money, and more resources. That's a thing. So that past is going to be your present. So that shit matters. It's not just like you made a mistake and just lost some money. Oh, my past, I ran up some credit cards, and that's your past. Okay, you got bad credit. Cool. We can fix that. That's not a bad thing. But when you have a kid in your past and say, my past is my past, come save me, that's when things get a little bit tricky. And it's up for you guys to decide what you want to do with that. But for me, that's tough for the guys I work with and the guys who understand the same thing that I understand. It's not a good deal. It's even a worse, even though it's a worse deal to really sell false hope. To say, yeah, I'm gonna be here for your kids and really, really try my best and do this, do that. When in the inside, bro, you're dying inside, bro. You're dying. You feel like shit. Come on. You're crying at night. You in a car after work, sitting in the car for 20 minutes to an hour thinking, man, what did I just do? You're thinking like, man, how do I get out of this? And you're thinking that because you've been leading with flesh all your life. You've been leading with sexual deviancy all your life. I have. I've been there. I've been sexually immoral as well, having sex before marriage, doing these different things. I've been crazy stuff. I've lived it, so I know. I'm talking to myself right now, so I know. I know. I know there's guys out there who understand the same thing I'm saying as well. Like, that time where it's just like that. I was thinking with the wrong head. Now I'm in a bad position. I gotta get out of this bad position, or my life is gonna be freaking ruined. We've all been there. We've all been there. But safe to say that your woman looks up to you, man. Especially if you have a girlfriend right now or a wife, you know more than anybody. If you have a wife, you understand. Like your wife looks up to you, your girlfriend looks up to you, your fiance looks up to you. So it's up to you to set the tone of how the relationship is going to go, as far as keeping her purity intact, giving her a platform or giving her a roadway to make mistakes, live a life, chase her goals, have that freedom to really live the life she want to live. As a man, that's what you should be working for towards every single day. But the only thing stopping you from getting there is you haven't mastered the sexual discipline yet. You haven't mastered it yet. You're still looking at girls on social media. You're still watching pornography. You're still doing a little bit of things you want. You want to quit. You want to quit these things, but you're still doing it. And it is kind of hurting your relationship a little bit more, right? It's hurting it. Well, lucky enough, I created a free community group called 10X Mastery. It's a free group. It's free for the first 50 members. Link is in the description if you guys want to join. And in that group, we're going to be talking about a lot of things as far as sexual discipline, how to level up your lifestyle as far as health, fitness, and your relationships. And the fastest way to level up your relationship is to get rid of these sexual thoughts in your mind and control your sexual lust. Because why? A woman counts on you to protect her sexual lust. It sounds crazy, right? But a woman does want you to protect her sexual lust because you do bring it out of her. If you're in shape, if you're attractive, if you do it for her, you'll bring it out of her. You know, it'll be uncontrollable to where you gotta say, "Hey, hold on, slow down. I want to wait. Let's go for a walk. Let's go to the gym. Let's go out. Let's get outside the house. Let's go get to that point." You know, and sometimes you're gonna have to do that if you guys have goals that you guys are striving for together, as far as waiting till marriage or whatever goals you guys have. That's the idea. All right, so I'm building a community for you guys, man. It's a free community. You guys can join that down below in the first link in the description. Like I said, it's free for the first 50 members. And I'm building out a lot of course modules in there to just walk guys through a lot of these habits I've built over the last 10 years or so that helped me on my journey to where I got, lean and shape. And I was able to get the girl of my dreams as well. I walked through exactly how I did it and how you guys can do that too. And maintain it. Because it's easy to just pick up women. Like, trust me, it's easy. To just go on dates, pick up women, a new woman every week is easy. I can have a date every day if I wanted to. But the hard part is maintaining your relationship you have now and then growing together. That's the hard part. A lot of guys, it's tough for guys to maintain that, especially with working, being entrepreneurs, doing different things. It's hard. So hopefully the group will help you guys out, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get it. Let's go.